Is a contradictory personality the key to success? In this video we will look at what a contradictory personality type is, the traits to look for and the type of people who are most likely to exhibit it. A contradictory personality refers to traits and behaviors that contradict each other. Example: a person can be the life and soul of the party in certain situations and reserved and insecure in others. Contradictory personality is not necessarily negative. Both creative individuals and successful people exhibit this personality above what you see in the general population. Examples of contradicting traits: confident and insecure. A person can be confident in certain areas and insecure in others. For example, he might be confident at work but in social situations be nervous and unsure of himself. Independent and dependent. He or she might value independence in one area, such as finances, and be dependent on others in another area like emotional support. Optimistic and pessimistic. A person might be prone to negative thinking, but also capable of seeing the positive in situations. This is a trait that many successful people tend to have. Impulsive and cautious. A person might be impulsive when it comes to food, but considered and cautious when making financial decisions. Disciplined and carefree. A person can go from disciplined to carefree, depending on the situation or day. Emotional understanding. A contradictory person can have limited emotional intelligence. They can be good at understanding other people's emotions but find it hard to understand their own inner life. Contradictory personality and successful people. Here are some contradicting traits successful people have. Persistence and adaptability. Successful people are like a persistent hunter in working towards their goal, but they are also adaptable to changing circumstances. Confidence and humility. Successful people have the confidence to think big and start a project but have the humility to recognize they do not and cannot know it all. This makes them open to feedback. Individualism and teamwork. Successful people are highly independent but also appreciate they cannot do it alone. They value and cultivate the skills to lead and work with others at the same time maintaining their autonomy. Risk-taking and caution. In order to be successful they take risks, but they do this while making sure they minimize the downside if things don't work. Vision and attention to detail. Successful people think big and have an overarching vision, but also have the ability to get their hands dirty and focus on the details. Contradictory personality and creative individuals. Creativity involves picking unusual associations that are not obvious to most people. If you wondered how creative people operate, here are some contradictory traits you will see them exhibiting. Playfulness and seriousness. Creative people have a playful approach when they are experimenting, but at the same time their work has deep meaning to them. Empathy and detachment. In order to create meaningful work that others will connect and resonate with, creative people are emotionally involved in the creative process. However, they also have the ability to detach and let the work reveal itself. Flexibility and focus. Creative people adapt and change as they create their art, while at the same time remain fully committed and intensely focused on the end goal. This means they can jump effortlessly between a fixed and growth mindset. Confidence and doubt. Creative people may be sensitive to criticism and full of doubt about the quality and creativity of what they produced. At the same time, they have supreme confidence in the creative process and the beauty and meaning it can provide. Introverted and extroverted. Creative people tend to love solitude in order to create, but once their art is complete, they also want the attention and adulation from people. Present and lost in imagination. Creativity involves switching between being consistently present and letting your imagination run free. Negative aspects of a contradictory personality. It can be confusing dealing with someone who is inconsistent, especially in close relationships. We need to be able to rely on people and have confidence they will act in a more or less predictable way. We also crave novelty, the contradictory creatures we are. Negative examples of contradictory traits. Someone can be both arrogant and insecure. They need you and at the same time they can resent you for helping them as they believe they are special. A person can be aggressive and passive depending on the situation. They may be passive when it comes to looking after their own health and aggressive in their desire to control other people. An individual can be generous and selfish. Generous when they want to manipulate people and selfish when someone genuinely needs them. Conclusion. We all have contradictory personality traits. For most of us they are not very noticeable and overall we are consistent. A contradictory personality type is not a mental disorder and should not be considered negative unless it affects the well-being of the person and other people. Entrepreneurs and creative people tend to be strong in the contradictory traits. This makes sense when you look at the contradictory nature of reality. Both those type of people are dealing with reality in its many forms, so can seem like they have paradoxical personalities that can be hard to pin down. Like all traits, contradictory personality types have positives and negatives. Each must be judged individually. People with a healthy ego have many sides. This should be appreciated rather than trying to sum them up in one word and fit them into a convenient box. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.